Welcome to Scary Mystery Surprise,
where we talk about creepy things that surprised us around the internet.
I'm Edwin.
I'm Michelle. Surprise, we're back. Surprise.
Scary Mystery Surprise is back. Is that what it's called?
Yes, that's what it's called.
That's right. You shot down my first idea.
Scary Mystery Box? Yeah, I shot that down.
Don't tell people my idea.
Sorry, I guess that was private talk.
This is a cool one, actually, Michelle. Like this episode, yeah, it's about witches. So,
ooh,
actually,
I
one
love
witch.
Witches. Oh, one witch. Okay,
Yeah.
well, that's still cool.
Well, have you ever seen like the Blair Witch Project?
No.
Have you seen Poltergeist?
No.
Okay. Paranormal Activity?
No.
The Witch?
No, but I do want to see that one.
Basically, all of these movies, they're inspired by this topic that we have today. Back in 1817, a farmer named John Bell lived with his family in Tennessee along the Red River. But this was a long time ago, right? The 1800s. What we know today as towns, they weren't there. Like, you just know, oh yeah, this is along the river, or this is where the river splits at the base of the mountain. I'm assuming this is how you would refer to little settlements.
I mean, I think they had towns in the 1800s.
Yeah? Oh, okay, well, I tried to look at
I'm pretty sure they had towns.
Okay.
I think they've had towns for a while.
Oops. Okay. And today, this is known as the town of Adams, right? So this is on the northwest side of Robertson County in Tennessee. So John Bell was doing his thing, like walking outside, a straw in his mouth, just looking out into the sunset.
Spitting tobacco. He's spitting it in a platoon and having it go.
I can add it in post, Michelle.
Everyone gets what I'm going for.
Yeah. Spitting. Things that you do back then.
Whatever you did back
Adjusting
then.
your
Because they didn't
pants.
have TV.
When he was doing his thing, he spotted this strange creature off into the distance. So, according to his story, it looked like about the size of a dog. So he was freaking out. So he fired at it.
God, such a typical response.
I wonder what that is. Boom. Could have been a person.
My sound effects are good today. You're going to have to really juice them up. I think you'll have to leave them in.
Yeah, I'm gonna. He ran up to the thing after he had shot at it, but he didn't hit it because once he got there, it was gone. I imagine that he goes and complains. He's just like, I just saw this dog. He might start eating
to
my
his
chickens.
wife?
I'm assuming. I don't know. Because the story comes out somehow, right? Like the story gets out, and then he hears through one of his slaves that they had also seen a large black dog. When I heard this part of the story, I'm like, oh, dang, okay, so he had slaves. I'm like, okay, so this kind of changes the perspective already. I'm just like, okay, so this is like a huge operation then, or something, right? Like,
yeah, this goes from him spitting tobacco and standing there with a straw in his mouth to
now he has a white suit on, and he looks like,
Colonel Sanders.
Exactly. He goes from one to like a completely other person.
He goes from poor farmer to Colonel Sanders really fast.
Yeah. So you might think that this is just like a regular haunting experience, right? Like something, I just saw this creature. But instead, a lot of other accounts of the same thing started coming through. So this was like several accounts. So Betsy Bell, which is the daughter of John, was outside the house when she saw a little girl swinging from the limb of an oak tree. Betsy was confused about it.
I mean, I'm confused about it too.
And what would you do first?
I guess it depends on the context. But if I just walked out and I was like, what the fuck is that girl doing? And then I'd probably just go back inside. Like, I probably wouldn't even like address it. It's like, well, if she breaks her arm, she'll come tell me she's hurt herself. And then I'd just go back inside. But if it's the middle of the night, that's a whole different. I mean, I'd probably still go inside. But I'd be more scared when I went inside.
That's true. Okay, so that changed. Okay, so let's change the story here. We're going to rewrite history. Let's say it's the middle of the night. Betsy Bell, the daughter of John, was outside the house. Doing what?
I don't know, milking cows.
Milking cows.
You know, the animals are being weird and she's out there with a candle or an oil lamp and just walking out. And then she sees the girl on the tree.
And she's just swinging off the limb.
Staring at her.
Yeah. So that's how it's going.
Just like the weird twins from The Shining. Just staring.
Yeah, and she's just swinging and it's creaking even though it's not metal chain. Well, rope creaks, right? It does.
Right, but I imagined her just... I just imagined her hanging from her arms. That's how I had it. She was like hanging...
Okay,
like
we're changing the
back
story.
And forth, hanging on her... with her arms.
The story changes again. All right.
Just staring and hanging by her.
A little girl's hanging from her arms, hanging, gripping onto a limb of an oak tree in the middle of the night.
So much scarier and weirder.
I thought it was a swing, but you're right. I didn't specify.
Just swinging back and forth, looking at Betsy.
Okay, so this is why Betsy was confused, right? Because Betsy was confused and she didn't know who she was. What she did was she walked over to the tree. And so she's walking to it, and as she gets close, the girl just disappears.
Can you imagine her? She's swinging and looking at her, and then she just slowly vanishes while she's swinging.
It's like she's swinging, she falls, and disappears.
Her arms got tired, and then she just fell into the earth.
The family, they try to keep this to themselves or like within their little circle, but then things started getting worse. They would hear things moving, sheets were being pulled away from the beds, they heard knocking on the doors, on the walls, there were sounds of dog fights, and then here's the coolest one, rats chewing away at the furniture.
Ugh, that's the worst one.
Yeah.
That's not a ghost, though. That's just them having vermin problems.
When the fire was low and the family was drifting off to sleep, they started to hear the sounds of chains being dragged. So they were creeped out, right? Things were getting worse. So the children were being punched and hurt with pins. And sometimes being left, finish your water, Michelle, because I don't want you to do anything here. But here it goes, and we love this. Being pinched and hurt with pins. And sometimes being left with imprints of hands on Betsy's face from being slapped by an invisible force.
I love it. Why did ghosts always slap? Why? Oh, it's just the best. Oh, it's the best.
Oh my goodness. I was cracking up when I read this part.
Oh my God.
I love this. I love people getting slapped by ghosts.
I don't know why it's such a common... it's amazing. It's amazing.
Based on that and the slap, they concluded that there was a spirit in their home, right? So they were convinced. So people started talking about their home, and the news basically spread like wildfire. And this is when I think it starts getting from really creepy to weird and like just odd. So they said that they could hear voices, one voice actually, and they were having full conversations with the spirit.
Oh.
And visitors to the house could actually talk to the spirit. That's a good spot for a break.
Maybe there'll be a break. So back to the story. There's chains.
People were getting slapped.
Yeah, the slapping.
This was like a thing, like a tourist attraction type of thing. You would go and like, you would basically ask a question and the bell witch would answer.
Do they have any examples of what they would say to the voice?
Yeah, so the entity itself would repeat Bible verses.
Ugh, how boring. Why can't he just be more, or why can't it? I don't want to gender a ghost.
Yeah, we don't know its pronouns yet. So.
Yeah, we don't know its pronouns, but why couldn't it be better read? That's all I'm asking. You know what I mean? Like, it's the 1800s. It's not Stone Age time. It could have read better literature. That's all I'm saying. You know, Shakespeare. Let's just go back to Shakespeare. That's so much better. I mean, maybe this is on them for not having anything good to read in their house.
This voice, which sounded like a female voice, started speaking about her existence as a disturbed spirit, and also giving explanations as to why she was there. Now, they're saying she in this time, so I'm assuming that this is when they say, oh, this is a witch. So then, you know, obviously you have people that believe and they're skeptics, right? So skeptics started popping up, and they even had some strange stories, right? So these skeptics have the stories, right? So they turned to a man named James Johnston, who was a friend of the family. So he asked some questions that only he would know. And the witch started to mimic their family's British or English accent and phrases.
Good day, governor.
Which I
Just
get
like
it.
that.
You know, I would do that too. Like, I get it.
It's just like doing a Bible verse and being like, hello, mate.
They said that the skeptics eventually wrote to the family. Like, it was him and there were some other skeptics. They wrote to the family for not believing. So I guess everybody was so proper.
Please forgive us for not believing. Is that it?
Yeah. Yeah, it's just like, I'm sorry for... I don't know.
I don't know. You can Google how to say you're sorry now. So I wish more people did. I wish more people did real apologies. It makes sense.
Yeah. Back then, I think people were just so...
proper, polite. These people did go into their house expecting it to be a lie.
That's true.
So who knows the attitude they had when they walked in there. If they were like, this is a, oh God, it went French. My accent went French as I just like, I'm like, yes, because it was going, because I was going to be rude. So naturally I went French with it.
God.
Sorry to alienate all your French listeners.
Sorry, guys. That was good.
Good day. I do believe your ghost story. There, that's good. That's my most British.
There it is.
That's it. That's my accent.
So this is where the story gets even weirder. The spirit wasn't good or bad to everybody, right? The spirit used to treat Lucy Bell, which is the wife of John Bell, the best. She would sing hymns and make fresh fruit appear for her. So, you know, she gets fresh fruits. It became obvious that she did not like John Bell, which she referred to as Old Jack. And she used to make threats and curses.
Wait,
then,
I mean, that's not like another term for the devil, Old Jack.
Ooh, I didn't know that. Really?
Yeah.
Okay, I learned something new. Eventually, Old Jack, John, started getting sick. And it got worse up until he couldn't get off his bed.
Uh-oh.
So, yeah, one day he just didn't wake up.
Oh, he died? I was thinking he did the grandparents in Willy Wonka, where he just stopped getting out of bed. You know, where Grandpa Joe just stays in bed for some reason and then is fine to go to the candy factory.
No, so he physically, couldn't just get off his bed. And next to him was a substance, which the witch claimed to be a fixed version of his medicine. When John was being buried, the witch's voice kept interrupting, singing drinking songs, disrespecting the events completely, right?
Oh, finally she got interesting. Jeez.
Drinking songs, though, do you know any of those? Are there any drinking songs now?
100 bottles of beer on the wall, 100 bottles of beer, take one down, pass it around, 99 bottles of beer on the wall. I mean, I would love it if she sang that during the funeral.
So she was just straight up, this is their version of funeral bombing.
Look, she is transcending that point of just kind of being annoying. You know what I mean? Which I like that she's part of the family and is just crazy Aunt Bell Witch.
So people say that the Bell Witch is a spirit of this woman named Kate Batts, who was an old neighbor of John Bell, who believed, actually, yeah, because back then when they were selling land, you need to be super specific. John supposedly, kind of ripped her off.
John never seemed like a good guy. I mean, he was dressed like Colonel Sanders. I mean...
shoots at random things.
Yeah, he's a jerk.
Okay, moving on, right? So he's dead. Now in 1821, what do you think Lucy did here?
At that time, I'm assuming she got remarried.
Well, close, yeah. She got engaged to a man his name was Joshua Gardner. And Kate didn't like that guy.
Uh-oh.
Right, so, yeah. The Bell Witch demanded that they call off their engagement. And Lucy did. The witch then said that she would be leaving and that she would be back in 7 years, in 1828.
So specific. I hope she read some Shakespeare while she was gone. I want her to travel the world and really, like, better herself while she's gone in those 7 years.
And have something else to sing instead of, like...
100 bottles of beer on the wall again? We get it. We get it. Ugh.
So, today, there's actually a cave that is named after her, like after the Bell Witch, in that same land that was owned by John Bell. And you can still visit it, so it's there. And actually, here's a twist. Michelle, this was actually on Ghost Adventures.
Oh, was it? Did they get any good evidence?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure actually I saw it. I'm pretty sure at one point I saw it because it rang a bell when I first heard about the Bell Witch. They might have called it the Bell Witch Caves or something,
I'm sure they ran around and just yelled, Dude, come over here. Come feel this. Come feel this. It's so cold, dude. Dude.
I always remember stop running.
Wait, did we finish the story?
Yeah, that was the story. So that was good.
Okay.
Good little transition. Good little transition.
Oh, so the ghost left for 7 years, right?
Yeah.
Then came back?
Then came back.
I want Kate, the Bell Witch, to have really gone out there and really enriched her life and had an eat, pray, love exploration of the world and just gone on some adventures and fallen in love and just had the time of her life before she came back to her home roots.
Back with new music, new hobbies.
Yeah, just new experiences. She's just so enriched. Yeah, new sea shanties to sing as she always needs to be present at all of her enemies' funerals.
Yeah, because, that part did make her seem a little okay, you're going to laugh at someone's funeral, okay.
That was, hilarious that she was that spiteful over that guy, but, he was a dick, so.
Yeah, what I think is that somebody was obviously making up the voice, right?
Right.
Somebody was really good at being a ventriloquist and just really able to hone down that skill and just...
Yeah.
But to mock and to make fun of, I don't know. And plus, it's not like people are deaf, you can kind of tell where a voice is coming from.
Who's to say they might have actually been slapped and seen a weird little girl hanging from a tree. And then they were like, let's add this voice that says really boring things.
Yeah.
All the time. Honestly, that's maybe what makes it a hoax is because it's that would have just been what they were reading at the house.
Maybe they were getting in trouble for it. Oh, you're haunted. You need to do this. You need to do that. And they're like, no, this is actually really happening and I'm going to prove it. And then, something like that.
Yeah, come talk to our ghosts. Come talk to our ghosts.
Yeah. But now the caves in this area, people do go exploring and they do hear voices and they do feel strange stuff. So this might be a real thing.
Something
real
happened.
Story.
Something happened.
Yeah. So we never know.
I'm pro Kate. What can I say? I'm pro Kate. I hope she's having a good time in that cave. I hope, I only wish the best for her. Truly. And then I, wish a lot of sea shanties and beer drinking songs on all of her enemies. That's what I wish.
There you go, Kate. To you. We drink to you.
Kate. Yeah, we drink to you, Kate.
If you have an idea, something you want us to talk about, send us an email, hello@scarymysterysurprise.com, or find us on social media. I'll leave the links in the description of these episodes.
That's all. Surprise.
Surprise.
Be sure to rate and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts.
See you next time.